Mikey, with the break action here, we're back. NBA talk on the KD pod. Today we're going to be talking about a couple different things. We have a couple surprising teams so far. They're kind of in the middle pack of each of their conference, with the Cavaliers, the Memphis Grizzlies. Then we're going to talk a little Brooklyn Nets. What the hell is going on with them? You know, they're still having some success despite everything they're dealing with this season. And then we're going to end with something a little fun. We each picked like a really bad team that we find very interesting, fun to watch, something to talk about with kind of the bottom of the barrel of the NBA. So, all right, let's get it started with the Cavs. So what's going on in Cleveland, Mike?
So after they had one of the worst seasons last year, and I don't think any of us saw this coming. But like first of all, I gotta apologize to Mr. Kyle Downing about Evan Mobley. First and foremost, that's the first thing I gotta say. I apologize, Kyle. Evan Mobley, I think, is the most talented and at the highest ceiling of this entire draft class, and we can see it from his defensive capability and his offensive game. And I think the other, like the body and like the strength, will come later, but you can't teach the mobility and the skill set and the defensive capability that Evan Mobley already have. So I think that's one of the integral part of their success this season. But also is like the veteran presence. It's like Ricky Rubio just went down, which prayers up for Ricky, but he was balling.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
He was really well this step up, and we got Laurie Markkinen playing the three, which is funny. Just everybody's buying in, man. It's like everybody's like doing their part, and then this is the Cavs without Colin Sexton, so they're missing a big part of their offense. And we see Darius Garland being a playmaker, and he can score the ball, he can shoot the ball. So it's just a really well-rounded team with a lot of big guys. Jaren Allen, like
No, he's great. Like, people were wondering whether they overpaid him in the offseason. And not only did they not overpay him, but they had to do that. They're Cleveland. You know, they're not going to sign a player of his caliber for that much money in free agency. You know, they're just not coming to Cleveland. So they had to do that. And he's playing as well as his contract says. You know, I think you know, you hit it off the top with Mobley. He gives their team so much hope and so much optimism going into the future. Not only do they have a little success this year, they're, you know, playing well, even though some of the vets have gone down. But, you know, he can be that number one, almost Giannis type player. Giannis, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, that defensive game changer who can also make an impact on offense. But I think something that we haven't really talked about that much is Darius Garland. You know, I think he has the capability and probably the resume this year to be an all-star, which is, you know, surprising. I think he's like 19, 20 a game. He passes the ball. You know, everyone was talking to him in the beginning of the season when Steph Curry was like, hey, everyone, look out for this guy. But he's playing as well as he can so far in his career. Sexton, you know, who knows what's going on with that guy? Sometimes they play better without him, which is odd. And Kevin Love is a great bench player. You know, if he's coming off your bench, your team's pretty good, honestly. They have the right pieces around them. So it sucks that Rubio got hurt. You know, they're down a little bit. Who knows if they're going to make up for it, but they play defense. They have a lot of pieces and some spectacular young talent. Moving to kind of a similar team in the West, kind of young, maybe better with the player out, playing defense, small market team, and that's the Grizzlies. That's the Memphis Grizzlies. So, as of my research, which was maybe last week, we were supposed to do this pod a little earlier, but they were 4th in the West, I think. I think they still are. Let's see. So they are, this will load for me. Yeah, still 4th in the West, and it's not even close. They're 5-6 games ahead of the Nuggets, who are in 5th. So, Mikey, let's talk about this. They went on a huge run without Ja. Why? How does that work? He's such a great player.
Oh, yeah. Again, it's like everybody can play on the team. Without Ja Morant, there's still plenty of good guards. We see Desmond Bane stepping up this season. And in the beginning of the season, in the overreaction episode, we talked about maybe Miles Bridges is the most improved player, but I think we got to include Desmond Bane in that conversation right now also. Desmond Bane, he's shooting 41% from 3, 41.2% from 3, shooting at a high clip. And I think his scoring improved by more than 2-folds. And the guy is just like he is one of the most interesting player. Like during this run, it's like he can score the ball. He can really score the ball. And we see other really great guards. It's like we have Tyus Jones. We have
the turnover king right there.
Yeah. We have I think Deontay Melton is really good.
He's really underrated.
He's really good. SoCal guy. And we have Dylan Brooks. He's like on and off injuries and stuff, but like when he's healthy, like he can shoot, he can defend. He's like one of the other like perfect 3D players you can have. Then we got Jaren Jackson, who's supposed to be like one of their young cores. He's not really like what people think, averaging 20 points a game, but he gets the job done. He can protect the rim. He can stretch the floor. But I think one of the things right now is like he relied too much on his jump shot. If he can get in there, he can do some damage down around the basket. I think he'll be a much different player. But they just have a lot of young players.
I agree with everything you're saying. With Jaren Jackson, where does that next step come from? You mentioned it perfectly. He can stretch the floor and he shoots a lot of threes, and then he can protect the rim on defense. He doesn't really rebound the ball. He cannot handle the ball. I'll tell you that. He's just too tall. His handle isn't there. So where does that come? Are they going to be posting this dude up 3-4 times a game? I'm not sure if I see that. So where does the next step for him come?
Well, I think first of all, it's like putting him more at the 5 rather than at the 4 because they have Steven Adams, and he's like the guy that rebounds and do all the dirty work. So like Jaren Jackson is just floating outside and not doing as much as he can, like from what he's capable of. And second of all, I think there's something to do with his like injury history. You don't want to get hurt. If he gets down there, it's like I don't think you just got to find the confidence of finishing over people. And if the Grizzlies put him at the 5, there's just he gets to spend more time down the block. He gets to like rebound. He gets to like box out. He gets to do all these dirty work while stretching the floor. Like he can like read, like pick and roll, pick and pop. Like he can do more things. With Ja Morant coming back, it's like that opens up more for him down for the pick and roll game. And with Steven Adams, it's kind of just pack the floor, so you have less space to like finish or around the basket because the help is right there with the Steven Adams defender or whatever. And I just think like the most like important thing is for him to find the confidence away from the injuries. And when he started doing that, he'll like be more comfortable playing down low and not overly relying on the jump shot. That's what I think.
So the other guy that's been huge for them, which you mentioned, was Desmond Bane. And, I saw something on Twitter. Bill Simmons, pod god himself, he put out a series of tweets saying, if you flipped Aaron Naismith and Desmond Bane, they would be doing the exact same thing on their respective teams. Aaron Naismith would be having the same success on the Grizzlies, and then Bane would be, a fringe rotation guy who's just stuck in the corner in Boston, which I thought was really interesting. And I disagree. I completely disagree. I think if you've watched Bane's development from what he was last year and in college to what he's doing now on the Grizzlies, man, he is creating out of the pick and roll. He is meandering through the defense, getting into the paint and hitting a little mid-range jumper. He's doing these things that people did not project him to do out of college. If you go back, he was kind of a bulky, oversized guard, really, really bulky. 6'6", it came out, his wingspan's a little short, so people were like, I don't know, late first, early second. And if you watch him warm up, you watch his workout, man, he can shoot. Like, him and Naismith, probably the same caliber shooter. But what we've seen with the playmaking and the pick and roll offense that he's able to create, especially with Ja being out, he's gotten the ball a lot more, which might help them a ton. I think he's way further along than people thought of, pre-draft, even last year. And, he's making a huge impact on that team. So anything else with the Grizzlies before we move on?
I think that's about it. And then, Ja Morant, I think we still have to talk about Ja Morant a little bit, right?
Yeah. What do you think there's to be said?
I don't know. I feel like Ja Morant, why do you think, I think Ja Morant kind of make the Grizzlies a different team when they're playing, right? Because I just feel like the franchise need one of those players that do things that attract the fans. And when he's back, it's I feel like the Grizzlies offense is less fluent, ball movement wise. But when Ja Morant gets going, it's the team is more dangerous. So it's all on Ja Morant in the playoffs. It's if he gets it going, it's just an even more dangerous team. But if he's I just feel like he's still a really, really good player to have.
Absolutely.
And
you just got to give him some time coming back from injury. They had success without him. Good for them. I think if he gets it going,
it just proves how deep of the team they have.
Yeah.
And I just don't think any team want to face off against the Grizzlies in the playoffs in the West.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to play against Dylan Brooks for a full series.
I wouldn't want
dude.
Yeah.
He's a pain in the ass, to say the least.
Yes.
All right, so let's move it to Brooklyn. Let's take it to the Barclays Center. There's one man that has, there's a lot of questions going on with Kyrie Irving. What's going on? We just got word, I think today I saw it.
Pacers. Yeah.
He's going to play on Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
In a couple days. It's an away game. It must be, right? In Indiana. Yeah. Man, I can't wait to watch it. As a basketball fan, take COVID, everything, all that BS, put it to the side. Yeah. I'm very excited to watch Kyrie Irving play.
So let me ask you this: How Kyrie Irving's return affect the Brooklyn Nets? What do you think?
That's a good question. I think Kyrie is so good that it's only going to make him better. It just sucks that he and Patty Mills kind of do the same thing. They're both kind of defensive, problematic guards who just shoot the ball really well. So playing them together is kind of a defensive liability. But I think if you have two dudes who can shoot 40, 50, 90 probably on the court at the same time, that offense is really hard to find. They were so thin that him coming back is very needed. One thing I'm interested to see with him is what kind of shape he's in. Is he? Because I remember last year, in the last couple of years, he looks frail. I think he's been on that vegan diet or something, or like fasting a lot.
Yeah.
You know, because of his certain religious responsibilities, and he looks thin, man, like almost like frail and weak.
I gotta get on his diet.
No, he needs to have a couple steaks or something here or there. But he's so skilled, he can get away with it. So I'm just interested to see that. But what else do you think about Brooklyn?
I just feel like they have a lot of interesting players. A couple players I want to point out. First is Nicholas Claxton. Just feel like he can be such an important player, like the Pascal Siakam of the Raptors here. It's like or like the Chris Boucher or whatever that step up in the playoffs. It's like the guy, like as KD said, is one of the most talented player on the team with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and himself.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. That says a lot. Yeah. And we can see it's like his frame and his just mobility and the capability on defense to protect the rim. Like that's what they needed. They can't like KD do everything. And I think Claxton can help KD, I think like offside help and protecting the rim in the playoffs. And I just feel like also just talking about like Kyrie coming back, like just before the playoffs, I feel like Patty Mills would be awesome as a sixth man, just because they have other like players that can do a lot of things, like DeAndre Bembry, they have James Johnson. Like they have plenty of good guys that can play defense, and we just have a Patty Mills that kind of lead the offense. And we saw that during the pandemic protocol times when KD and Harden was. Now, and we see Patty Mills, like he was sort of 20 points, 30 points games on really high efficiency. So I just feel like with one of those guys on the bench, I think this is a really solid team. And not to mention some of the younger guys, Cam Thomas, David Duke, Kessler, like they all play really well. They're out for COVID protocols right now, but the past couple weeks they like all of them have been showing out. So I think they like the Nets management has done a really good job of like drafting this year. So I just feel like they just have a lot of players to put out there. And with Kyrie coming back, I just feel like that's a whole another different dynamic. And watch out for the Nets, man.
Yeah, a couple of things off that is, Claxton really, I think he made a statement on Christmas when he got that lob and just bodied LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, he got up for that, for being so big, for being, 6'11", he got up for that one for sure. My only question, like, I think I'm questioning whether the question itself is stupid, because people have been wondering for the past 2 years, what about defense with the Brooklyn Nets? Where's the defense going to come from? Can they just outscore everyone? Yeah, I think they can. I really think they can. And the only thing that was the question that I was wondering, prior was, if you have a 3-guard rotation where you have pretty much 3 dudes who are going to be your lead guard for you, depending who's on the court. If it's Kyrie, Patty Mills, and Harden, there's not a lot of defense there. And they might be subject to getting torched by some point guards in the playoffs.
I don't think they're going to start Patty Mills, though, with Kyrie Irving. I think they're going to start like DeAndre Bembry. He's been playing really well with the starting lineup. Right.
Well, once I think just rotating that through, you're saying Bembry will just guard the best, ball handler on the team.
Nah, bro. He was like, it's like when I watched the the Nets games recently, it was just KD on the ball. It wasn't even like James Harden and stuff. It was KD dribbling up, and then everybody's cutting, and it was either James Harden ISO, KD ISO, Patty Mills pinned down, and DeAndre Bembry cutting. That's their whole off.
Let's think about it. If they're playing the Nets, right? If the Nets are playing the Bucks, let's say that's the Eastern Conference Finals. Closing lineup, 2 minutes to go, fourth quarter. The Bucks, you probably have
Drew Holiday,
Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Giannis, Bobby Portis, maybe Pat Connaughton, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Nets, you have Kyrie, Harden,
KD,
Durant.
Yeah.
Who else? Who are you putting Patty Mills in there? Is he gonna guard?
I'm not putting
Grayson Allen.
I'm putting DeAndre Bembry.
You're putting Bembry in the game. What about Joe Harris if he's healthy?
I feel like I'd have it depends on what lineup they put out. Like for the Bucks, if they have like Pat Connaughton or like Grayson, if they had Pat Connaughton in, I'd put Joe Harris on him. Just
so it depends.
I don't know. Like he's not gonna do much, but like I think Joe Harris and then DeAndre Bembry and then KD. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good closing. Yeah,
KD's your 5.
KD at the 5. Yeah, that's my best bet. Yeah, KD's guarding Giannis.
Okay, so say you have to play a 5-man. Say Brook Lopez is in the game.
Brook Lopez in the game. I think just still
like
KD.
Griffin.
No, I'm still playing KD at the 5.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. I think I'd go with Blake Griffin. So yeah, I think you're right. It really depends on who's in the court.
Mm-hmm.
But still, there's not a whole lot of defense going on in that lineup.
But they still can outscore everybody. That's the whole point of this team. And I believe in that. So. I truly believe in that. They were beating the Bucks. They were beating the Bucks bad before James Harden and Kyrie got hurt. And they still put up a good fight with just KD. So I feel like if they're fully healthy, nobody can outscore them. And they don't need defense to do that, to win games. My personal opinion.
So we each picked a bad team in the NBA that, a team that's struggling right now that we think has, no one shows them love. There's stuff to be said about them for good or for bad. So I'll let you lead it off, Mike. What you got?
I was going to say the Houston Rockets, but something happened. Something exploded in their organization. So I'm going to pass on that. Fun team to watch, but damn. Pulled 2 ABs in one day. Huh?
Yeah.
So I think Orlando Magic is an interesting case.
Wow.
They just have a lot of interesting players, man. It's like Franz Wagner now is the #1 in like Rookie of the Year voting.
He's getting the ball, man. I'll tell you that.
And we got Cole Anthony that's playing really well.
And Franz Wagner.
We got Cole Anthony
getting torched. Jaylen Brown gave him 50 last night. Oh, he's
50, 3 I saw.
He got torched. He was guarding him the whole game.
Yeah.
So, all right, keep going.
Yeah. That's why it's a bad team. But just saying, like, we got Wendell Carter playing a lot better. We got Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner, Mo Bamba. Like fun players to watch. We got we all forgot they still have a Jonathan Isaac. That's been now for more than a year.
Yep.
So now that I think about it, with like some other like random player like Gary Harris, and they have Terrence Ross, and just they have a pretty young and well-rounded team. Markelle Fultz hasn't played this year.
Suggs, Fultz,
yeah. So it's just all of them. A lot of people are hurt, and when Cole Anthony wasn't hurt, like they're on a little winning streak.
Yeah, he was playing incredibly, honestly.
Yeah, he's playing really good. Yeah, and Jalen Suggs will be like another Cole Anthony. I feel like when we came in here, like I kind of don't understand why like I for me they're like pretty similar, but like Jalen Suggs would be a better playmaker, and they all play with high intensity. They're all really athletic, and if those two pair up like as a backcourt duo, I think it will be a really fun team to watch. And they still have Isaac that's coming back, great 3D player, and just imagine this lineup, man. Cole Anthony, Suggs, Franz at the 3, Isaac at the 4, and Wendell Carter at the 5. Pretty fun team.
Yeah. I don't know how much winning they're gonna experience, but they're definitely fun to watch. I'll ask you this: so you have to pick a backcourt for your future. You have Cole Anthony, Suggs, Fultz, RJ Hampton, whoever else they have. Who are you taking? You can only take two. One and a 2.
I'm taking Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs.
Okay, no Fultz.
I'm kind of over with Fultz because he's just
playing well before he got.
I know he was playing well, but he's getting hurt too much, and then his like we've seen like what he can do in the league. It's like not the Washington. It's no longer the Washington Marco Fultz. He's not.
But if you went back and you watched like a 20-game stretch when he was healthy, whenever that was last season or something, man, he's hitting pull-ups. He's defensive. He's like a really good defensive player. Long arms. He's super athletic. He's got incredible finishing with both hands. I think I'd pick the same thing as you. I think I'd pick the same too. But you forget about those players that are hurt for a while.
We just gotta see them, man. They might be working. They might be getting better every day. It's like we just don't know. Like especially with like Isaac. People say like he can be like incredible, but he haven't played a game for a year and a half. So we'll see.
Yeah. So we'll move on to my team. It's funny. You said you were going to pick the Rockets. I was like, oh, thank God you didn't, because that's who I picked. So the Rockets, what's going on with them? They are incredibly interesting, man. Incredibly interesting. They are last in the West currently. They started the season off like 1-15, went on like an 8-game winning streak. And now they've lost an incredible amount of games in a row. And they're 10-27 or something. Really bad. So let me just mention some stuff that's going on for them. The two pieces that we've talked about for a while, Christian Wood and Kevin Porter Jr. We've talked about how they both have a talent, but they also have some issues. And they both got suspended because they both got incredibly pissed in the locker room one time. Mike, can you hear me? Okay. It was frustrating.
Yeah, there was lagging. Yeah.
Okay.
I heard you. Yeah, I heard you.
All right. Well, yeah, keep it going. A piece I think they got to trade away, who's been playing actually really well, is Eric Gordon. He's sneakily 15 a game, 4 assists, shooting 45% from 3 on 6 attempts a game.
Getting overpaid, so it might be a really hard bargain.
How much is he making?
I think he's making more than he should be getting paid. I'd say $15 to $17 million a year, but I'll make sure right
now. That's worth it. If
or I might be. Let me check right now. But he's getting paid $18 million a year.
That's worth it, man. I'd trade away. Say I don't know if I could think of an example trade right now, but I would.
Do you want Eric Gordon on your team?
Well, it depends on the team for sure. Depends on the situation. If you're a team that is, top 6 in your conference and you need someone who can shoot and guard multiple positions, I think that's Eric Gordon. He can, and he's a knockdown shooter, not a theoretical shooter. He's like, he will make shots for you. So he's been playing pretty well. Our 2 head cases have, been getting pissed off. So what else is going on with them? I was looking it up. You were mentioning Jalen Green got back and they went on that run when Jalen Green was hurt. So let me get out the NBA standings right now. So they are 10-27 right now, right? 10-27. With Jalen Green in the lineup, they are 2-22.
The Jalen Green record. Yeah, we gotta go through the Jalen Green record. Yeah.
8-5 without him. 2-22 with him in the lineup. That's incredible. This is supposed to be the next Kobe Bryant. And you're 2-22. You take him out of the lineup. You put in some like G League cussed white dude who can shoot threes.
Hey, Garrison Matthews has been playing amazing though. You can't just call him.
Yeah. I'm sure, but he got cut by the Celtics. Like he's only playing because they suck. He's showing that he should be in the league because he's gotten time, but he's only getting that time because they're terrible. And when he does get the minutes, they start playing better. And you take the top 2 pick out of your lineup and you're way better. How does that work? I don't know. It's a real problem for the Houston Rockets' hope moving forward. Is this dude a winning player? What do you think?
He's just a defensive liability that takes too much possessions right now. And he's not really efficient with those possessions. He's not going to outscore everybody. And he's going to just give up more points than he scores. And I think I see improvement from his game. His shooting got a lot better. But it's just he's too young and he skipped college. He didn't go through the systems. And like I think he still need a couple more years to figure it out. But it's just the defense I'm not sure about. He's one of those unsure
Shouldn't
players.
He be better at defense? Like, doesn't he have the capability to be a solid defender with his athleticism and length?
Yeah, but he's nowhere close. So
his motor, you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's the motor. Like he's all athletic and he's capable of doing everything, but he don't have the motor to do so. And I don't think he have the instinct, like defensive, like the experience yet. So we'll see how that goes. But can we go to my favorite player on the Rockets right now?
Sure.
Alfred Sengun. Yeah.
He's in and out. I don't know. They like Tice a little bit better right now, defensively off the bench. But what's your take on him?
Oh, he's just a really different player. Different than everybody else. You have one of those smooth footworks down low that I love watching. Like, because I'm a post player. I'm not athletic. I'm slow. But I'm also like, I'd say semi. But I'm kind of like semi-skilled. And then when I see Sengun, I was like, that's me. Foreign, skilled, unathletic player that can do a little fancy things, that understands the game, can shoot the ball a little bit. Really, like, I just love watching that guy play. And it was funny how I saw this Houston Rockets post. It was like Sengun doing the same move as Yao Ming, and they kind of put the clips together. That was the same move. And I was like, that's so cool. And he had this ball talking thing. I just love the guy, man. Like I love watching that guy.
Where do you think he ends up by the end of the career? The end of his career, is he starting player? Is he a starting caliber player in the NBA? Is he a
He can be
cool
a
bench?
Sabonis. He can be a Sabonis.
You think he could be an all-star? Really?
No, I'm just saying, like, if he gets traded to like a bad team, then he gets in better shape.
He's on a bad team. He's on a horrendous team.
I'm just saying, like, where he like have more opportunity. Like bad team, not horrific team. I said a bad team, not a horrific team.
Okay.
A team that gets
Jalen
Green ball every single possession. I hope he pulls some crap out of his pocket, which he doesn't have yet. I just feel like if he gets in better shape, he'll be like all the other European. Like he's so young. He's 19.
Mm-hmm.
He's so young, and watch him work down low, man. Like his footwork is like ridiculous.
I know his footwork's incredible, and him being able to shoot the ball helps a little bit too. Maybe
you just gotta get in better shape, like Jokic.
He's just not. He's slow-footed, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's in that bad of a shape. You know, he's not really fat. He's not, you know, got a lot of body fat on him. But
I think he'll be a solid starting like center. I'd say.
So he needs to go to a separate terrible team whose main philosophy is not give it to some high drafted guard, but dump it into the post to this first rounder from a couple years ago.
They just need you just gotta get on a team where everybody plays, man.
A little more balanced scoring. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, all right, Mikey. This has been I'm not sure what we're gonna call it. Maybe a little mid-season check-in. But yeah, hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.